Alright, and we're back. Wouldn't you know it, they're also giving you a briefing on how this works. It's pretty cool. Alright, in we go. Go through the skylight here. See, this is a whole cool little mission and setup. Should every game have been this way? No, but I didn't exactly mind when a lot of them were. Because the thing about it was the things worked, they were offline, there was a consistent or semi-consistent standard of quality. You knew what to expect when you got into it, even if a lot of the games ended up feeling and, kind of playing the same for the majority of them. They were at least complete experiences that functioned, right? You can play this shit on just about fucking anything. You got a good graphics card, no need to worry, it will work. Got a bad one? Don't worry either, it'll probably work as well. Meanwhile, you want to play the newest Unreal Engine 4 or 5 game? Yeah, it's kind of a complete crapshoot. You're gonna kind of hope that whoever did their job did it well enough. Otherwise, that might not work out too well for you. Oh, that motherfucker went flying. I love ragdolls that are like this. You don't have to put too much effort into realism. Just give me a dude who does like 17 double backflips and then they drop their guns. That feels more impactful to me. Because my underlying issue is when these games try to add sexual shit to them. It's at the expense of everything else. If it's like Mass Effect where you have that shit but it's not required, I don't mind that. But, that's not what they're doing. They would rather you focus on this because they've clearly put all their time, effort, and energy, not to mention all of the marketing and all this other shit in there. And, that's the thing. I can't get into, I'm not really into relationships with fake people who don't exist. That's just weird and creepy. Like the whole AI thing. There are absolutely losers out there who use that shit to pretend they have a girlfriend when they don't. That's just fucking creepy. Meanwhile, if it's like Mass Effect, 2 or 3 or whatever, where it's just like, yeah, you can do that. You don't have to. It's not part of any main, story quest lines or whatever. Yeah, who gives a shit? You want to go fuck aliens, go ahead. But if you have removed split screen, you've removed co-op, you've removed offline play, and then you've instead replaced that with a shitty game that looks worse than a PlayStation 3 game like this, and then you've instead tried to force in sex, big dicks, and ass everywhere, well, it shows me that your priorities are that of a fucking 12-year-old, not an actual professional game developer. The price also just isn't right. This was free. A $100 Unreal Engine 5 game with, big tits in it that you'll forget in 2 weeks. Well, that's not exactly ideal now, is it? See, paracomputers or fucking sarcasm, erasers or stuff you can read most of the textures on. Big explosions and all this shit. Even in a little room here, if I shoot the computer, cracks on the screen, sparks. They even, textured all the ports and stuff too. Yeah, you'd be lucky to get half of that shit these days. Fake little brands or other stuff, little shadows and all those. All these cool little details gone. Not because they didn't work, or not because they could even, they failed to copy paste their shit that they had already made. No, really more so for control. Like if I shoot this shit, the screen turns off, Sparks go flying. I shoot this. There goes the phone. I mean, it's little things like this you take for granted, and when they take it away, becomes a lot more noticeable. Now, me personally, I tend not to do these little things simply so you can have 100 frames a second. And, I want to have good graphics, but I also want to have good performance. So, I mean, I understand this, trade-off and shit. You can clearly have both, but it does come at the cost of performance, say, in Unreal Engine, where it's not as good as something like whatever engine they're using here. Oh, shit. Damn it. Also really like this, these little drawings they've done, the artwork. These would be some really good wallpapers, I imagine. Alright, let me get in here now. Try and do this right without rambling. That's the weird thing. They always, new games nowadays, they try to just position this as, like, you can't have one of these without the other. It shouldn't just be that these games are the only ones that are fucking complete. Like, you can have a cartoon, anime, tit game that's complete, that has content. You don't have to have just these games being the ones that are any fucking good, but it seems to be just the way it is. Like, they get in one corner or they get in another. I really don't know why. Like, why are you backing yourself into the corners? You don't have to do any of this bullshit. But they do. Like here, you could totally have full fucking cases of grenades in Unreal Engine. If it was possible on this kind of technology, what stopped them from just making the lighting slightly better? Making the lighting slightly better, maybe making the texture slightly better. Wow, not very hard, is it? I mean, I could probably just go back and do another Let's Play of this with Reshade, and you'd get the point. Alright, let's get this guy. This is a cool set piece with the gas here. It's also war. What the fuck is that guy? He's live. Needlecraft, body, my baby, marketing, mechanic, computer. See, like, that's the thing with these. You would usually see, like, there's some effort being put in to try and immerse you into the world. Yeah, they don't do that anymore. Or if they do, it's like Crime Boss Rocket City, where there's just some woman's ass on the front. Alright, well, if you're going to show a woman's ass, you got to show a man's too, right? We're all for equality here, right? Oh no, suddenly we're not. Well, you think if you shove a woman's ass in my face, I probably don't want to see it as much as I would want to see a man's ass either. No, thank you. Boop. Oh, there we go. Simple instructions. Wouldn't you know it? Just put the jammer here. There you go. Oh, he dive bombed through the fucking window. Well, that's helpful of you. Alright, I'm here in the spot. Shoot him with the pistol. I like this art here. Like, look at this texture and shit, right? They've made like this whole little city. City interactive. Hey, wouldn't you know it? If you're gonna be city interactive, you might as well have some good fucking cities, right? Meanwhile, for Ubisoft, I guess you'll do anything except for your job. Or EA. You'll put all of this effort into, like, really fucking retarded looking games that would, have all of these ugly people in them constantly. I don't care how a person looks unless it's distracting. Like, yeah, you're supposed to empathize with this woman. That's a woman? What the fuck? You gotta do your makeup or something, lady. Well, that's not realistic. I don't give a shit about realism. I give a shit about if the game is fun. Is it a complete and working game that has all this shit in it? Is it cheap or free? I'll probably play it. I've played some cartoony games from time to time, like Garden Warfare, Fruit Ninja, or Jetpack Joyride. They were nothing really substantive, though. It's just because the core experience is like either too simple or made weirdly complex. Like Garden Warfare, the main problem I had with it was like the progression system was never rewarding. Like I liked the idea of having loot boxes and like cards and shit. They did a good job with that, but it's not a rewarding system. I gotta find the vent again. It's not very rewarding when basically it doesn't even feel like half the time you would get what you wanted. I don't know, there's probably some Taco Bell in here. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's the thing. Um, big, big boys and big suits. I hate it when their money gets taken. Though I don't exactly know anyone who doesn't like it when their money gets stolen from them or blown up. So, hey, fair point there, SAS. Excuse me, that's what happens when I have barbecue and soda. Anyway, that'll do it for this part. Thanks.